For much of its length, the Qu'Appelle River meanders back and forth across a valley that is over a mile wide. As a result of this meandering, erosion of the banks sometimes causes sections of the river to be cut off from the main flow. This creates horseshoe-shaped channels of water known as oxbow lakes. These are the areas that I most enjoy hunting for carp during the late spring or early summer when the fish are spawning. This particular location used to hold hundreds of carp, but I wasn't seeing them now in the numbers that I had seen in previous years, probably because it was beginning to fill in with water plants. Inches. Looks like he's about 14.5 pounds. After bagging this one fish, I decided to leave this once favored area and look for better hunting. Further up the valley, I stopped at a hill overlooking the river system and discovered this small oxbow lake tucked away behind it. I was soon bagging a few more fish. When bow fishing, I use a solid fiberglass arrow. Bow fishing regulations require that a line be attached to this arrow. Besides, without a line, many arrows would be lost. I prefer to use Dacron line, but I have also used Mason's twine, which is available at hardware stores. Your line should be able to support about 50 pounds to allow for the abrasion that occurs during a season of bow fishing. because of the reeds along the shore and in the water, it is often necessary to keep the line high as you retrieve so as to avoid unnecessary entanglement with those plants. Here, a curious mule deer is watching as I hunt. Carp are covered with a protective armor of scales. At times, these will stop an arrow sufficiently so that the arrow will not penetrate and the carp will pull free. Occasionally, however, an arrow will strike a carp in the softer belly region. Sometimes, when the arrow has penetrated well, it will still pull free, bringing the carp's air bladder, which gets caught on the barbs of the arrowhead. Just got a swim bladder. The Qu'Appelle Valley is rich with wildlife. It is very common to see whitetail and mule deer, as well as coyotes and foxes. It is not common to see turtles, but there appear to be populations of them living in the calm waters of these oxbow lakes. The carp often stay submerged just below the surface. On sunny days, they are easier to see, particularly if you are wearing polarized sunglasses, which help cut the glare. As a result of their spawning activities, they have so stirred up the water that it becomes impossible to see carp that are any more than 2 or 3 inches below the surface. To remove the arrow from the fish, it is often necessary to push the arrowhead completely through the fish so that it can be unscrewed before it is withdrawn. On my bow, the line is wrapped around a spool. The very last wrap is tucked beneath a clip to keep it from unraveling on its own. There are many other systems, however. Make sure the line is free to follow the arrow when you shoot. On a few occasions, I have not been careful, and I now have scars on my left hand that were caused by my inattention to this detail. The fish that I pursue I refer to as carp, but I understand that there are also many buffalo fish in these waters. I am not certain how they are different, as they all seem to look the same to me. Since it is legal to hunt for both species, I am referring to them all as carp. Here, a fish's scale is embedded on the arrowhead. To lift the fish from the water, I usually put my thumb in their mouth and insert my fingers into their gill slits. There is nothing sharp in those areas, and I have never hurt my fingers. But do make sure that you hold them tightly. Although these fish have been reported to reach weights in excess of 50 pounds in the Qu'Appelle River system, I personally have not shot fish less than about 8 pounds or more than about 23 pounds. Most spawning fish seem to weigh in the mid-teens.
20 pounds.
Oops. I lost this carp because the arrow did not penetrate through the scales of the fish. You can see one of them impaled on the point. I also noticed that the barbs had been bent inward and therefore would not hold as well, even with good penetration. I compounded the problem when I tried to bend the barbs back out and broke one off. These are a couple of different types of arrowheads. The ones that I use are on the right. They come in 3 parts. The part on the left is attached to the arrow shaft. The barb fits into a slot on the rear of the point, and the whole unit is screwed together. I guess I didn't hit that one very good. Although a number of fish will pull off the arrowhead no matter what, sometimes the arrow will penetrate completely through the carp, as has happened with this fish. Although I'm now using a compound bow with over 40 pounds of draw weight, I have shot many carp with an inexpensive solid fiberglass bow of about 20 pounds. When I pull this fish out of the water, you may notice an injury on its side next to the thumb of my left hand. This is probably a fish that had escaped previously. Oh well, they have to be lucky all the time. I only have to be lucky once.